Level 1, Standard Dreaming and Dream Recall. Every night you become a filmmaker, an actor, and an audience of one. In the private theater of your mind, you direct symphonies of impossible physics and screenplays written in a language of pure metaphor. This is the baseline of human consciousness, the default setting for your sleeping mind. You are passively watching a story unfold, a story woven from the threads of your memories, your fears, and your deepest desires. You don't question the plot holes, like why your childhood dog is suddenly giving you tax advice. You simply accept it. This is standard dreaming. It's the chaotic, beautiful, and often nonsensical foundation upon which everything else is built. But there's a problem, isn't there? These cinematic masterpieces, these profound personal epics, they vanish. They dissolve like mist in the morning sun. You wake up with the ghost of a feeling, a fleeting image, but the narrative is gone. It's like trying to remember a song you heard only once in another room. This happens for a reason. The neurochemistry of your sleeping brain is radically different from your waking one. During REM sleep, when most vivid dreams occur, key memory-related chemicals are suppressed. Your brain isn't trying to file these experiences away for long-term storage. It's simply experiencing. So, how do you begin to explore this forgotten world? How do you map this hidden continent inside you? You start with the simplest, most powerful tool available, a dream journal. The very first step on this entire journey is recall. Before you can ask if a dream is real, you must first be able to hold on to it. The moment you wake up, before you move, before you check your phone, lie still. Try to catch the tail end of that fading story. Grab a single image, a word, a color, a feeling. Write it down. This simple act sends a powerful message back to your subconscious. This matters. I am listening. By becoming the archivist of your own inner world, you are building a bridge. You are training your waking mind to value the wisdom of your sleeping one. This is the price of admission to the deeper levels. Because without a memory of the dream, there is no dream at all. Only a forgotten film lost to time. Level 2, Lucid Dreaming and Reality Checks. This is the moment you're falling off a cliff in a nightmare and instead of screaming, you calmly decide to fly. It's the active ingredient, the spark that transforms the passive cinema of your dreams into a fully interactive virtual reality. This is where the dream world stops happening to a you and you start happening to it. So, how do you achieve this? How do you wake up inside your own dream? You can't just will it to happen. Instead, you have to become a sort of detective in your own life, constantly questioning the nature of your reality. You have to build a habit so deep, so automatic, that it follows you across the threshold of sleep. This is the practice of the reality check. Think of your waking consciousness as a piece of software that runs perfectly. A reality check is like running a diagnostic program. You perform a simple action that should have a predictable outcome. In the waking world, it always passes the test. But the software of the dream world? It's full of glitches, and that's what you're looking for. Here's how you set the trap for your sleeping mind. Several times a day, genuinely stop and ask yourself, am I dreaming? Then test it. The most famous check, look at your hands. Really study them. In waking life, they're stable, familiar, 5 fingers. But in a dream, the processing power dedicated to rendering your hands is lazy. You might see 6 fingers, or your palm might distort and ripple like a reflection in water. Another powerful check is the nose pinch. Right now, pinch your nostrils shut and try to breathe in. You can't. But in a dream, your mind often forgets that your physical nose is blocked. You'll take a deep, satisfying breath right through your pinched fingers. That single, impossible breath is the trigger. It's the glitch in the matrix that proves you're not in Kansas anymore. You can also try reading a sentence, looking away, and then looking back. In a dream, the text will almost always have changed into gibberish. By performing these checks constantly when you're awake, you are programming a reflex. And one night, in the middle of some bizarre dream, that reflex will fire. You'll look at a clock, see it melt, and suddenly everything will click into place. The simulation becomes your sandbox. This isn't just a trick, it's the fundamental key to unlocking the door to conscious dreaming. Level 3, Sleep Paralysis and False Awakenings. Welcome to the uncanny valley of consciousness, where the line between the dream world and your bedroom completely dissolves. We begin with sleep paralysis. Imagine this. Your mind flickers on, aware and alert. You can hear the hum of the fan, you can see the shadows in your room, but you cannot move a muscle. Your body hasn't gotten the memo that you're awake. It's still locked in REM atonia, the natural paralysis that prevents you from acting out your dreams. You feel a crushing weight on your chest. A primal, ancient fear creeps in as you sense a presence in the room with you. This isn't just a nightmare, it's a system error in your consciousness. It's like your mind is a driver who has woken up in a parked car, but the engine, your body, is still turned off. You can see everything through the windshield, but you are utterly powerless. For aspiring lucid dreamers, however, this terrifying state is often a gateway. It's a chaotic loading screen for the dream world. If you can remain calm, you can often roll out of this paralysis directly into a fully lucid dream. Then there's its deceptive cousin, the false awakening. You dream that you've woken up, everything seems normal. You swing your legs out of bed, you walk to the bathroom, you look in the mirror. But then, the uncanny valley sets in. The light switch doesn't work. The text on your phone is a jumble of alien symbols. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. You've woken up, but not into reality. You've woken up into another, deeper layer of the dream. Think of it like the Truman Show, but your bedroom is the set and your subconscious is the director. It's the ultimate reality check. These false awakenings can loop, trapping you in a cycle of waking up over and over, each reality more distorted than the last. But for the dreamer, this is a golden opportunity. The moment you spot the glitch, the moment you realize the clock has hands made of smoke, the simulation shatters. You're no longer a character following a script. You're lucid. You're in control. Both paralysis and false awakenings are proof that the border between awake and asleep isn't a wall, it's a veil. And sometimes we get a terrifying, exhilarating peek behind it. Level 4, Dream Characters and the Subconscious. Every single person you meet in a dream is, in some way, you. Think of your subconscious as a master filmmaker. When you fall asleep, it doesn't just play a movie, it builds an entire interactive world, and it needs a cast. These are your dream characters. They aren't random apparitions. They are complex projections, fragments of your own psyche, given a face and a voice. The angry boss who berates you might be the embodiment of your own self-criticism. The long-lost friend who offers comfort could be your own need for reassurance. The mysterious stranger you feel drawn to? Perhaps that's a part of yourself you'll have yet to discover. Your mind is so powerful that it can create these characters with such fidelity that they feel completely independent. They have their own memories you don't recall, their own opinions, their own secrets. They argue with you, surprise you, and make you feel genuine emotion. This is your subconscious mind running a full-scale simulation, using these actors to play out unresolved conflicts, explore hidden desires, and process the data of your waking life. Each character is a mask worn by a different piece of your own mind. This is where it gets truly deep. What happens when you become lucid, when you wake up inside the dream and confront the cast? Many lucid dreamers have tried this experiment. They walk up to a seemingly real person in their dream and ask a simple question. Are you aware that this is a dream? The results are fascinatingly strange. Some characters will look confused, their programming unable to compute the question. They might stare blankly or change the subject. Others become hostile, as if you've broken a fundamental rule of their world. But sometimes something truly profound happens. A character might smile knowingly and say, "Of course. We've been waiting for you to realize." In that moment, you're not just talking to a character. You're pulling back the curtain and having a direct conversation with the deepest, most hidden parts of your own consciousness. So when you ask a dream character who they are, and they give you an answer that shakes you to your core, who is really us talking? Level 5, Dream Control and World Manipulation. This is where the dreamer stops being a tourist and becomes the architect. Forget simply flying or talking to your subconscious. We're talking about grabbing the source code of your dream reality and rewriting it on a whim. Imagine your mind is a hyper-advanced video game engine. In the shallower levels of lucidity, you're like a player who's discovered a few fun glitches or cheat codes. You can no-clip through a wall, maybe spawn a sports car. It's incredible, but you're still playing within the game's established rules. Here, at level 5, you've kicked down the door to the developer's office. You're not just playing the game, UAR is the engine. You have the command console open, and your will is the only syntax that matters. The very physics of the dreamscape become your playthings. You don't just fly us, you decide that gravity is now a gentle suggestion, or that you can swim through the solid earth as if it were water. You don't just summon a character, you weave them from the fabric of your memory, giving them a lifetime of experiences in the instant they appear. You can pause the entire world with a thought, rewind a moment to try a different outcome, or change the entire art style of your reality, from gritty photorealism to a watercolor painting, with a single, focused intention. This is a state of absolute creative flow, where the lag between thought and manifestation is zero. The boundary between you, the observer, and the world being observed completely dissolves. Every leaf on every tree, every line of dialogue from a dream character, every ray of impossible sunlight is a direct, real-time extension of your own consciousness. It's a profound, sometimes overwhelming sense of unity. You are not in the world is you. And that's precisely why this level is so far beneath the surface. This degree of power forces you to confront fundamental questions about the nature of self. If you can effortlessly construct and deconstruct reality, where does the you who is doing the constructing end and the fabricated world begin? It's a razor's edge between godhood and losing yourself entirely in your own creation. But the iceberg goes deeper still. Because what happens when the world you've so perfectly crafted starts to show signs of a mind of its own? Level 6. Shared Dreaming and Collective Dreamscapes. This is where the walls between our private, internal worlds begin to dissolve. We're not talking about you and a friend having similar dreams after watching the same movie. We're talking about you, in your dream, turning a corner and bumping into your cousin, who is 1,000 miles away, and when you both wake up, you remember the exact same impossible conversation, the same strange purple sky. This is the core idea of a shared dream. Two or more distinct consciousnesses entering the same interactive dream environment. Think of your mind as a private computer, running its own unique simulation every night. Shared dreaming suggests that sometimes, under unknown conditions, our minds can connect to a kind of psychic Wi-Fi. We're no longer just accessing our own hard drive, we're logging into a temporary shared server. Imagine the sheer vertigo of that moment. You're lucid, you know you're dreaming, and you're talking to a dream character until they say something you couldn't possibly have known. They reference a memory only they have. That's the moment you realize you're not alone in your own head. You are a visitor, and so are they. But this iceberg level goes even deeper. If two minds can connect, what about 3? Or 100? Or 1,000,000? This leads to the staggering concept of the collective dreamscape, a persistent, layered reality built from the collective unconscious of humanity, not just a temporary server, but a vast psychic internet. A dream world with its own history, its own landmarks, and its own rules, forged by the echoes of every dream ever dreamt. Is there any proof? Scientifically, no. The evidence is purely anecdotal, found in ancient spiritual traditions, esoteric texts, and countless modern stories that are impossible to verify. It's the tale of twins who claim to meet every night, or soldiers who report sharing battlefield nightmares. Skeptics would call it coincidence, cryptomnesia, or outright fabrication. But the idea persists because it speaks to a fundamental human yearning for connection. It suggests that the profound isolation we sometimes feel is an illusion. That when we close our eyes and drift off, we might not be retreating into ourselves, but are instead logging into a grand, invisible tapestry that connects us all. What if your most bizarre dream wasn't a product of your mind, but a postcard from a place someone else was visiting too? Level 7, the void and ego dissolution. Think of it as the loading screen for your consciousness. Most lucid dreamers try to skip past it, to rush into the vibrant worlds they want to build. But the deepest explorers know this level is a destination in itself. The void is exactly what it sounds like, an infinite, silent, velvet blackness. There's no up or down, no body, no sound. It's the space between dream scenes, the raw, unrendered canvas of your mind. When you find yourself here, either intentionally through a wake-induced lucid dream technique or by accident, something profound begins to happen. With no world to perceive and no dream body to inhabit, the anchor of your identity starts to slip. The construct you call you begins to fray at the edges. This is the gateway to ego dissolution. Imagine you are a single drop of water holding all your memories, your name, your personality. Now, imagine falling into a vast cosmic ocean. For a moment, there is a boundary, a sense of separation. Then, it's gone. You are no longer the drop. You are the ocean. You haven't ceased to exist. You have expanded to encompass everything. That is ego dissolution in the dream state. The narrator in your head, the one who is currently processing my words, goes silent. Your name loses its meaning. Your memories feel like a story you once read about a stranger. All that remains is pure, unfiltered awareness. A feeling of profound connection to, well, everything, because the part of you that felt separate is gone. Many find this terrifying. The ego clings desperately to its own sense of self. But for those who can let go, it's considered one of the most transformative experiences possible. It's the ultimate realization that the character you play every day, the protagonist of your own life story, is a temporary role. In the void, you're not just watching the movie of your dreams, you're stepping out of the theater entirely to meet the projector. The final level of lucidity isn't about controlling the dream, it's about realizing you are far more than just the dreamer. Level 8, Dreams as access to alternate realities. Imagine your consciousness is a radio receiver. All day, it's tuned to one powerful, clear station we call waking life. But when you sleep, the dial slips. It glides across the static of the cosmos, and for a few hours, it locks onto a different broadcast. This theory proposes that your dreams aren't just cobbled together from the day's memories and anxieties. They aren't productions staged by your subconscious. They are transmissions. And you are simply tuning in to worlds that are just as real as this one. You're not the creator of the dream, you are the visitor. Think about your most vivid dream. The one where the sunlight felt warm on your skin, the food had a distinct taste, and the people you met seemed to possess their own histories, their own inner lives. This theory argues they did. You weren't interacting with puppets of your psyche, you were briefly crossing paths with actual beings in an existing reality. This is the multiverse hypothesis, viewed through the lens of sleep. Every possible outcome of every choice you've ever made has branched off into its own separate timeline, its own universe. And dreaming is the natural, biological mechanism that allows your consciousness to briefly glimpse those other branches. That dream where you had a different career. You were peeking into a life where you made a different choice years ago. The recurring dream where you return to a strange, familiar city you can navigate perfectly. It's not just a persistent memory, it's a destination you keep revisiting. This reframes everything. When a dream character gives you a nonsensical answer or becomes hostile when you point out you're dreaming, it's not because your brain is failing at logic. It's because you are an anomaly. You are a foreign consciousness temporarily inhabiting their world, and your awareness of the fact is a glitch in their matrix. It's a staggering thought, and it leads to the ultimate question. If your consciousness can slip into other realities every single night, how can you be so sure that this one, the one you're in right now, is the original? The home frequency. When you wake up heart pounding from a dream that felt impossibly real, maybe it was. And perhaps when you fall asleep tonight, another version of you in another universe is just waking up, telling their friend about the bizarre dream they just had, where they were listening to someone talk about reality. Level 9, the collective unconscious and archetypes. Deep beneath the iceberg of your personal memories, your fears, your private desires, lies something else. A vast, ancient ocean that connects every human mind that has ever existed. This is the collective unconscious, a concept from the psychologist Carl Jung. He proposed that we are all born with a shared psychic inheritance, a kind of psychological blueprint for humanity. Think of it like a spiritual or psychic internet that we're all logged into from birth. You don't have a password, you don't even know you're connected, but you're constantly downloading data. This data doesn't come in the form of text or images, but in symbols, feelings, and instincts. It's the reason why so many cultures, separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years, developed such similar myths, symbols, and religious ideas. They were all tapping into the same universal server. And what are the files on this server? They are the archetypes. These are the original models, the universal characters that live inside all of us. You know them intimately, even if you've never heard the term. The hero on a quest, the wise old man or woman who offers guidance, the trickster who breaks the rules, the great mother, a source of nurturing and comfort, and of course, the shadow, the dark, repressed, unknown parts of yourself that you refuse to acknowledge. This is where your dreams get truly profound. When you dream of a terrifying figure chasing you that feels both alien and deeply familiar, you might be meeting your shadow. When an unknown elder gives you cryptic but perfect advice, you may be consulting the wise old man archetype. These characters aren't just random creations of your sleeping brain. They are ancient, powerful patterns of thought, whispering from the collective human story directly into your mind. So, when you fall asleep tonight and encounter these figures, ask yourself, are you just processing your day? Or are you logging into a shared reality older than language itself? Is your dream just your dream, or are you browsing the library of the human soul? Level 10, Simulation Theory and Dreams as Base Reality. We've all entertained the chilling thought that our world is a simulation, but we've always assumed we are the ones being simulated. This theory proposes something far more radical. It suggests that this life, the air you're breathing, the weight of your body, the screen you're looking at, this is the simulation. And the place you go when you sleep, that is base reality. Your true consciousness, your essential self, doesn't live here. It resides in the infinite, fluid dimension we clumsily call the dream world. Every morning, you don't just wake up, you log in. You boot up a biological avatar and enter a hyper-realistic, persistent multiplayer game called Human Life. All your memories, your personality, your limitations, they're just the preset parameters for your current gameplay session. Think of it as the most immersive VR experience imaginable. Your dreaming mind is the player, existing in a realm where thought instantly becomes reality. This waking world, with its unbending laws of physics and linear time, is the meticulously crafted game world designed to feel completely real. Sleep is the act of taking off the headset. The reason your dreams feel so bizarre and fragmented is because you're briefly glimpsing the chaotic, limitless nature of your true home. Our logical, predictable world is the one with the artificial rules. This explains so much. Why do most dreams evaporate upon waking? It's a mandatory memory wipe. The system purges your cache of base reality to maintain the illusion, to keep you invested in the game. Déjà vu isn't a memory trick. It's a server lag, a previously loaded asset momentarily appearing in your feed. And lucid dreaming? That's not you becoming aware inside a dream. It's your avatar, for one breathtaking moment, becoming aware of the player. It's a crack in the fourth wall, a whisper from your true self leaking through the code. Those gut feelings and flashes of intuition? They might just be your player self trying to guide your avatar through a difficult level. So as you lie here on the edge of sleep, consider this. This entire life is a temporary experience. Your greatest triumphs and deepest heartbreaks are just plot points in a grand story you chose to play. When you finally drift off, you aren't escaping. You are returning. You are going home. The only question left is, when you log back in tomorrow, what part of the truth will you be allowed to remember?